Hi, my name is Rhonda Swinar, and I'm with the Canadian People's Union, and I am working on a movement across Canada called the PowerShift.ca, or the PowerShift. And it is based on a book by Vaughan Lyons called The PowerShift from the Political Elite to Inform Citizens. And it is about taking the power from the political elite, the political parties and the elites that own them and run them, and giving it back to, or giving it to the people who it belongs to, which are the collective citizens and Indigenous people of Canada. And this is done by, it can be done in several ways. However, after 11 years of research, Nicole has found an actual quick way, should people get on board, to get our rights back. Now, these are rights that we were given in 1931 through the Statute of Westminster, and the government at the time said the people of Canada are not ready to self-determine. And so we're going to keep that power for ourselves, and we will allow the people to vote and to run for office, and that's it. And then in 1960, when we were to decolonize under the UN agreements, our head of state, the Queen should have been removed from our head of state, but again, the government has not done that. They instead created a whole layer of other government for Indigenous people in order to keep the illusion that we have a head of state that's not our government. And then in 1982, with our new Constitution, the Constitution Act of 1982, which took the Constitution of 1867, the BNA Act of 1867, and married with it our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, as well as our a bunch of other different amendments and acts and a bunch of other stuff in the Constitution. So it became our new Constitution of 1982. And in that, we were also supposed to be given the right to self-determine. We were supposed to be put as head of state. And once again, our government just said we were not ready. So the Canadians since 1982 have been under this illusion that we tell our governments what to do, when in fact that couldn't be further from the truth. We vote in who's going to tell us what to do. That's pretty much the way our system of governance works in Canada. We have a parliamentary system of democracy. The only level of democracy, the only involvement that we have as the collective people of Canada, including Indigenous. And when I say collective people, just assume that I'm including the Indigenous people, because I am. It's all of us as a whole. So the collective people of Canada, we have just two individual rights within our own self-determination, and that is to vote or to run for office, like to take part in elections to be voted for. Now, you have to belong to a political party in order to run in elections, or you can try running as an independent. And voting, anybody can vote. Now, our own government, if you check our government websites and a bunch of information for our own government recognizes that this is the lowest level of involvement allowed that allows it to still be called a democracy, because the people are not involved in our self-government or our self-determination at all, beyond really the act of voting. The majority, the vast majority, that's it. We just vote once every 4 years, and then the government goes away, does their thing, and we do nothing. And that's how we got to this place. And it was designed on purpose that way in 1867, if you can believe it or not. It was designed on purpose that way because our country was never designed for us. It was designed for originally two elite families that fought over who was going to win the resources. Those two elite families formed two provinces, Ontario and Quebec, and they were to rule Canada equally, and they pretty much have. So that is our history of Canada. As the other provinces came on board, they've never had the strength, they're never been allowed to have the strength that Ontario and Quebec have. And that is a huge problem in our system of governance. However, it can never be changed because our system of governance is governed and ruled and overseen by the government itself, who's elected itself, the political parties themselves. Our executive council in Canada is the prime minister and then the head ministers of the head portfolios of Canada. And if you look through history, it's always coming from one political party. Whichever political party has the majority and is the leader in Canada controls executive council position. Now, that executive council position is truly the head of state of Canada. The Queen, the Governor General, the Lieutenant Governors, even the senators are all controlled by that executive council. Now, here's why. Since 1867, those pieces have been in place. The Queen, the Governor General, the Lieutenant Governor, and the senators have all been in place in order to hold governments accountable. However, they've never been exercised. Those rights have never been exercised. And if they have been exercised, it's been by the Governor General, and it's been very loosely exercised. It's never been exercised on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, and it's generally only exercised if the Prime Minister asks, or if there is enough strength in the opposition that they are forced to step in. That's the only time. And this has happened maybe a handful of times since 1867 in Canada. So the true head of state is our executive council. So in a sense, in our own government, like our own system of governance, our own parliamentary system of democracy, our government oversees itself. Now, how can that happen? You say we vote for them, and they're supposed to listen to us. Well, actually, they don't. They have put in, each political party, if you read their constitutions and all of that, they have put in very vague language around being able to listen to the people once they're voted in. Once they're voted in, if they listen to the collective people, it can be seen as lobbying, and therefore they can lose their position because they can't be lobbied. They're not to be lobbied. It can be seen as a conflict of interest. However, they are lobbied. They're just lobbied by paid lobbyists and lobbyists who have registered with the Government of Canada. So it takes away the power, the true power that exists with the collective citizens. And that's what the PowerShift is about, is getting that power back. So back to the PowerShift. It was designed in conjunction with a book called The PowerShift by Von Lyons that I spoke about a few minutes ago. And it's also designed by a nonprofit, a registered nonprofit organization here in Canada. It's the first type of nonprofit of its kind. And it is called the Canadians People's Union, and it's for Canadian people. It's for all of us. It's for the collective citizens and Indigenous people of Canada. And it's not a trade union. It's not a labor union or anything like that. It's a union for our rights. It's about fighting for our rights. And the PowerShift is sort of outside of that. You do not have to belong to the Canadian People's Union to belong to the PowerShift. When you sign your Convention of Consent, you're not giving the Canadian People's Union any power over you or anything like that. They just put this in place so that the people can unite as a whole. So when you sign your Convention of Consent on the website, thepowershift.ca, what you're doing is you're standing up with everybody else across Canada who has signed that and saying that you want your right to self-determine and to hold government accountable. And that will trigger a constitutional question in the Supreme Court to have the people, the collective people and Indigenous people, placed as the collective head of state. That's all that does. We are fast tracking that because of stuff that the government has done over the years. David Lametti, who is the head Attorney General of Canada, actually met with Nicole Labrassiere, who is the CEO of the Canadian People's Union, a few years ago, when she was doing a speaking engagement, and she had an opportunity to ask him a few questions around what she was doing, and he admitted that she was right and that she was on the right track. And that is why she has continued on this track. She's had a lot of stuff happen over the years, but she's been at this for almost 12 years now. And she's the one that, she's just such a wealth of knowledge behind all of this. And so anyway, that's the history of the Canadian People's Union and how the PowerShift came about. At one point, we were calling the PowerShift citizens referendum. Sorry, I'm tired. I've been moving and I'm tired and sore, but this video needs to get done. So anyway, it's kind of like a citizens referendum. We can't officially call it a referendum because only the government can do that, but really we don't have any government involvement in this. There's no lawyers involvement. There's nothing right now. It's just us, the people, doing this. So when it's about the people standing up and wanting their rights, and therefore you can vote like you do in a referendum for your right. If you don't sign, you're saying no, you don't want your rights, and if you sign, you say yes, I want my rights. So that's in a sense how it is a referendum. It really is a quiet rebellion across Canada that is about very, very soft, we don't want a civil war, basically, is what's behind this. And this is a very easy, safe, legal way for us to get our rights back without a civil war. It does mean, however, that the people of Canada need to get behind this and start signing it. Now, you can sign this and still do whatever else you want to do. If you want to protest and do everything you want, like everything that you're already doing, if you've got a movement going, if you're the head of other movements and stuff, you can still encourage your people to do this and do your movement. What this does is it allows your movement to have a true voice. Just think about it. You're not going to be begging anymore. You're going to actually be able to talk to your MPs, to talk to your MLAs, to talk to your municipal government as a collective whole and have them listen. Right now, they only listen if it's in their political favor. So that's what we're trying to stop. We're trying to get the people of Canada involved so look in the mirror. This is who has to do this. No one can do it for you. We do have a class action, or not a class action, but an action, a statement of claim before the court right now in the Superior Court to force this if we have to. The statement of claim deals with a few issues, not just this. And you can find the whole statement of claim at the PowerShift.ca as well. And that was filed on August 19th. And there will be more as well as across Canada in each province. But for now, it's just in Ontario, the Superior Court, and it is just because Nicole is there and she's the first one to do this. We want to do this once and then see how it goes and then get everybody else doing it. So anyway, that's what we're doing. We do need people helping across Canada. So if you're interested and want to help across Canada, let us know. If you are, and you can message, I'm going to be putting this on YouTube as well as on Facebook, and it'll be shared on Twitter and all that kind of stuff as well. But if you are interested and do want to help and do want to get involved further than just signing your convention of consent, let us know. And we certainly can use the help. We need help in just about every area because this is really, truly a grassroots movement, even though it's a nonprofit organization. It's a grassroots movement. There is no other funding other than what we raise ourselves. So there on the page, you'll see donations and stuff like that. Memberships. It used to be that all the funding came from memberships in the CPU, and that's not the case anymore because we recognize that a lot of people just don't actually want to be actual members of the CPU, and that's your right. You don't have to be. In order to work on the PowerShift, you do not have to be a member of the CPU. However, having a large membership will make our court cases stronger. So there's that side as well. So I want to keep this to 15 minutes, so that's about it. And I will put all the links down in the comments on either YouTube or Facebook. And you guys have a great day. And if you have any questions, ask, please. This is very important. Look at yourself in the mirror. The person looking back at you is the only person that can help you to get your collective rights back, or to be given them that you were promised since 1931. So the other thing as well, anybody the age of 15 years of age and older can do this. So you guys have a great day. You're going to be seeing more videos from me. I had started doing them a while ago, and then life had other plans, and I quit. But I'll be doing more now. And I'm in the middle of moving. Can you tell? There's all this stuff behind me. So anyway, you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.